A lot of us grow up hearing the same money advice. But what if I told you that some of those truths are actually holding you back? Let's dive into the money myths that might be keeping you from achieving your financial goals. When it comes to our finances, we've all been guilty of buying into certain myths that just aren't true. These myths can be damaging because they can lead us to make poor financial decisions that can hold us back from achieving our goals. The truth is, many of these myths have been passed down from generation to generation, and we've never stopped to question them. But it's time to break free from these misconceptions and start making informed decisions about our money. The good news is that by shedding light on these myths, we can start to make positive changes in our financial lives. We can start to build wealth, achieve our goals, and live the life we've always wanted. But first, we need to understand what these myths are and how they're holding us back. So, in this video, we're going to debunk some of the most common money myths that are still widely believed today. We'll explore why these myths are so prevalent, how they're damaging our finances, and what we can do to avoid falling into these traps. Let's get started with some of the most common money myths out there. One popular myth is that you need to make a lot of money to be wealthy. But the truth is, it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. We've all heard stories of celebrities and athletes who make millions of dollars, but end up going bankrupt because they didn't manage their money wisely. Another myth is that credit cards are bad. While it's true that credit cards can be dangerous if not used responsibly, they can also be a powerful tool for building credit and earning rewards. The key is to use them wisely and pay off your balance in full each month. Some people believe that buying a home is always a good investment, but the truth is, it's not always the case. Depending on the location, market conditions, and other factors, buying a home can be a bad investment. It's important to do your research and consider all the pros and cons before making such a big decision. We've also been led to believe that investing in the stock market is only for the rich. But with the rise of robo-advisors and micro-investing apps, investing is more accessible than ever before. You don't need to have a lot of money to start investing and building wealth. Another myth is that you need to be an expert to invest in the stock market. But the truth is, you don't need to be a financial genius to start investing. You can start with a solid understanding of the basics and learn as you go. Some people believe that you should always prioritize paying off high-interest debt, but the truth is, it's not always the best strategy. In some cases, it makes more sense to focus on building an emergency fund or investing in a tax-advantaged retirement account. We've also been told that budgeting is restrictive and will stifle our creativity, but the truth is, budgeting is simply a tool to help us achieve our financial goals. It's not about depriving ourselves of things we love, but about making conscious decisions about how we spend our money. One of the most damaging myths out there is that money is scarce and we need to compete for it. But the truth is, money is abundant and there's enough to go around. When we adopt a scarcity mindset, we start to make decisions that are driven by fear and anxiety rather than abundance and possibility. Speaking of abundance, the most damaging myth of all is that we need to sacrifice our present happiness for the sake of our future financial security. But the truth is, we can have both. We can live a life that's rich in experience and connection, while also building wealth and achieving our long-term goals. This myth is so damaging because it leads us to put off our happiness until some distant future date. We tell ourselves that we'll be happy when we've paid off our debt, or when we've reached a certain income level, or when we've achieved a certain goal. But the truth is, happiness is a choice, and it's available to us right now. By recognizing and rejecting this myth, we can start to live a more fulfilling life, one that's driven by purpose and meaning, rather than fear and anxiety. We can start to make decisions that align with our values rather than our fear of scarcity. So, what can we do to avoid falling into these traps? First, we need to educate ourselves and stay informed about personal finance and investing. We need to be critical of the advice we're given and do our own research before making any decisions. We also need to be aware of our own biases and assumptions and be willing to question them when necessary. We need to have the courage to challenge the status quo and seek out alternative perspectives. Moreover, we need to focus on building wealth rather than just making money. We need to focus on creating multiple streams of income rather than relying on just one. We also need to prioritize our values and make decisions that align with them. Rather than trying to fit into someone else's idea of success, We need to define what success means to us and make decisions that support that vision. Finally, we need to be patient and persistent. Building wealth and achieving our financial goals takes time, discipline, and perseverance. We need to be willing to make sacrifices in the short term in order to reap the rewards in the long term. In conclusion, it's time to debunk the money myths that have been holding us back. It's time to take control of our finances, educate ourselves, and make informed decisions about our money. Remember, financial literacy is a journey, not a destination. It takes time, effort, and patience, but the rewards are well worth it. So let's commit to questioning common beliefs and assumptions about money, and start making progress towards achieving our financial goals. Thanks for watching, and if you have any thoughts on these money myths, please share them in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about financial literacy and building wealth, be sure to check out our next video.